Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We got our Stihl 026 Ultimate Old Man Firewood Saw. Where are we at with this saw? Well, I have run it, idled it, played with it, and I thought it was all good, friends, until yesterday. I went to go cut some wood with it, and on the first cut, it hit the wood and it was just motoring, and then it leaned out. For whatever reason, this carburetor is giving me trouble. Now, it might still be that fuel line, but I'm hedging my bets that it's the carburetor. That's why it's so important when you build a saw, at least for me as a builder, I like to test it thoroughly before I ship it, if I'm building it for somebody else, because this thing gave me no signs of trouble. It idles like a dream. Now, the idle circuit and the high circuit are two different things, right? The low circuit seems fine, but the high circuit seems to be leaning out on this thing. I haven't run this thing in 2 or 3 days. Let's fire it up and listen to it, and we'll see if it screams again. I'm a little uncomfortable with what this saw is doing right now, to the point that I can't even put it in the wood. So let's see what this saw is doing, and I think I may have found a remedy. I'm not sure yet. We'll see if it works. I'll bring you guys up, and let's fire this thing and see what it's going to do today. Now, last time I fired this thing, I noticed that it took more pulls to start than I would like it to. So, okay, this thing's stone cold. I haven't run it in a couple days. Okay, full choke. I did put a bar and chain on here. Okay, last time I fired this, it took 6 or 7 pulls to get it running. 1, 2. That's where I'd like it to fire. Any more than that, and I don't like it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. I don't even know if this thing's going to start today, friends. Now, I don't think it's a choke issue. I'm checking. The choke seems to be engaging all the way, so I don't think it's that. You guys can see this thing, well, it's just not cooperating. Now, here, let's give it a little more low jet. Just a hair. Again, friends, this thing's giving me trouble. So rather than yanking on it for another 20 minutes, let's bring you guys in. Okay. Let's turn everything off. Let's get at this carburetor. Again, friends, I don't know if it's that fuel line. I don't think it's the fuel line. I guess it might be. Sometimes, you know, I'm showing you guys the legit deal. Some saw builders, everything they build seems to work out. Not here. I don't know if it's something I'm doing or... Couldn't tell you, friends, but it's hit and miss when you buy these junk saws, right? Now, this thing... And look, yeah, there's fuel in the carb, so I'm not exactly sure why this thing isn't starting. Last time I tried it, it was 6 pulls, which is way too many for me. And again, the fuel line's not kinked. I don't know how well you guys can see that. It's got a nice bend coming out of the tank. So I don't think it's that. Now, what I'm going to do, friends, I found another Stihl carb. I think it's an 034 carb or an 036 carb. I think that's what it is. Okay, I'm going to crack this. Try not to spill any fuel. These, well, here, I'll pull the vent right off. That way this thing shouldn't puke fuel. Okay, the fuel line's wet, so again, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Let's push that back in. Okay, hold on, friends. Again, I'm not a big Stihl guy. I have to take that bottom screw off so I can get the linkage off. Again, friends, we'll just keep puttering with this thing until it's right. I may need a new carburetor though. So around here, Stihl parts are really expensive. For whatever reason, carburetors in Canada are, well, usually you can buy another saw for how much a carb costs, so we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but okay, pull this off. Now, I have another carb here, and I don't know what it's off. I already partially disassembled it. I have this carb, this one right here, and you know, it appears to be another 026 carb. Now, the difference in this one is the top cover was different, okay? It has this little vent doohickey on it. So I'm thinking, why don't we take the parts off this carb and just try this one. This one's clean as a whistle inside. Okay, so while we're yakking here, why don't I just take this one apart? Okay, we'll transfer that carb kit because I still don't have any more. Oh, friends. Okay, we'll transfer that carb kit that we put in this carb. Shunk! Oh, look at that. Weird. That's weird colored fuel coming out of here. Why is that fuel so yellow? I'm not sure. That's actually really strange. Anyhow, I almost want to dump the fuel out of this thing. No, I know that's good fuel. It's from my fuel jug. And the only thing that goes in that fuel jug is chainsaw fuel. But yeah, the fuel looks a little odd. Maybe that's something coming out of the gas tank. Okay, so, well, this seems to be the right carb. Don't know what it's off of. Don't know where I got it from. Don't know anything about it. So this might be a junk carb too. Now, I'm pretty sure this is an 034 carb. Because I'm just thinking back to what carcass I pulled it off of. But it may be a 260 carb. It had limiters on it. So I think it may have been a 260 carb. Because an 034, I do have a carcass for one of those. An 034 shouldn't have limiters. They didn't make those when saws had limiters. Okay. Let's take this all off. Okay, we'll take this, put it on here. I already checked the metering lever height. Seems okay. Again, I don't think it's this fuel line. I guess it could be. I may have to go to the dealer and get an OEM one. Although the first one I used was an OEM fuel line, a new one, but it didn't really fit. So I'm not sure if there's some kind of a change between, I guess the fuel line you get now is for a 260, and this is an early 026. I don't know if there's some changes that went on. I assume there would be. But again, friends, I'm not a Stihl aficionado. I'm just a guy. So, if you know any differences, please feel free to let me know. Okay, so this appears to be the right carburetor. We'll know right away. If it slides into here and the impulse lines up, which, well, interesting. So this carb, I don't think, no, this carb is not going to fit under here, which is weird because it's the same carb, But see, right here, friends, this handle, this isn't going to fit this handle, I don't think. Unless I modify it a hair, which I might actually do, because why not? We're building a junk saw. So it looks like, see, because this had the limiters on it, friends, it has this encasement here, and that doesn't fit. So, you know what? This is busted up. But anyway, somebody took the limiters out of this. Not me, but somebody. Excuse me a second here. Okay, friends, you Stihl purists, cringe. All I did was just file away the opening there. Because again, we don't have limiters in here, so just gonna... There we go. Just making sure there's no debris in there. Okay. Let's slide this in and see, does it fit? And indeed, it does fit. So I guess this is a 020 or 260 carb. It's got to be a 260 carb, eh, friends? What do you guys figure? Just gonna pull this line through a little bit. I'm all stuffed up tonight. They've been harvesting and my the allergies take a beating. Just gonna grab these, make my life easier. Okay, put this in here. So I'm starting to really make preparations for Bunyan. Again, friends, if you want to run into us, Buckin and I will be at Bunyan, the Paul Bunyan show in Lore City, Ohio, in October. I think it's 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Guernsey County Fairgrounds. I went last year and I had an absolute blast. That we made sure that the channel saved up this year so that we could go again. Thank you to everybody that showed up to meet us. That made my year, honestly, friends. To meet you guys and your children, and you know, just to hear you guys talk about what my channel means to you, and you know, talking saws and just where you're from in the world, and you know, the times I've gotten you out of I've bailed you out of a situation with a video. Thank you guys. Thanks for taking the time to show up there. And you know, and take the time. Some of you guys traveled like a ridiculous distance to come and see us, and just it was special. It was a special time at Bunyan. Anybody that was there says the same thing. Okay. Is there any difference between this one and that one? Or do I have this together wrong again, friends? I reckon, I can't remember. How did we do this before? I should have paid attention when I was tearing this thing apart. I was probably flopping though, wasn't I? Okay, so this doohickey goes into there. And I've said it before on video, and I'll say it again. I do not like this. I do not like the Stihl linkage systems. They're over-engineered, complicated, hard to place, and I for one do not enjoy working on them, as you guys can see, and I'm horrible at it, and I'll be the first to admit it. I don't know why something so simple has to be so complicated. Okay, so this goes up here and into here. Now, you Stihl guys, if you're laughing at me, I get it. I can put together a Husqvarna blindfolded. Probably because I had this linkage in upside down or something. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, this goes in there like so. Friends, what am I doing wrong here? Oh, this. So, is there a different linkage for this carburetor? I do not see any difference in the linkages on these two carbs. Like, zero difference. This one's slightly a different shape. This one's a little bit bigger on the end. But, oh, maybe because it goes like that? Now, friends, I'm probably not going to cut any of this out because I think this stuff's funny because I get so many emails from you guys where you're like, I watched you take apart and put together such and such saw. How did you do that? And it's like, I don't know. Probably just worked on a few of those. But then a saw like this that everybody has and everybody works on, I just struggle with it. And that's just the way it goes, right? The saws that you see me put together quickly are generally saws that I've done a bazillion times. Okay, friends, I'm going to pause you here because this is getting painful. Hey, friends, laugh with me. I was hooking the wrong part of the doohickey into the wrong part of the whatchamacallit. So, good times. Kind of funny, but kind of not. Oh, well, it's the end of the day. And I used to film early in the morning, generally on Sundays and Saturdays. Now I tend to film after work during the week. And the reason is, well, I have a 2-year-old now, so I've changed how I do things to, you know, to make it work, because now when I'm at home, I only get to see her, you know, a couple hours at night, and you know, weekends we try and do family things, so I just fit the YouTube in whenever it fits, right? Usually after she starts going to bed, I read with her, or, you know, whatever. Try to read with her as much as I can before bed, and then she starts going to bed, and then I come out here. Okay, friends. We got a new carburetor in here. Let's put this on because we know that we need this to have a choke, because that's just the way she works, right? Now, I don't know if this thing's even going to start now. It's so funny. This thing went together so nice before, and now I am struggling with the finest details. There we go. Okay. We will get this saw running. Now, I have had a few. Why is this not going through here now? These are tight, right? Like, is the body of this carburetor more shallow or deeper? I think it is, friends. I think it's going on. This might turn into a real Frankensaw. I got an 044 carb, but the thing is, friends, putting a bigger carb on often is not really, it's not really good. It's not a good thing to need a bigger carb, not in a firewood saw. Okay. Looks like our choke is staying on. That's it. That's okay, friends. What we'll do here is I will try and get this saw to run. Okay, we know that we'll just start this thing without the air filter on. Okay, let's pull this thing over now and see what it does. Okay, I got you guys raised up. I'm trying to do run and gun with these. I'm pausing it. I'm not editing. Okay, random carb. Don't know what it is. I put my jets at 1 1/4. Don't know if that's going to be the right setting. Remember, this carb's dry. Weird. What do you guys think? Well, let's pull the top cover off. Are we getting fuel? Maybe this thing's flooded. It didn't even pop though. I don't know if you guys could see the saw. Pan you guys down if needs be. Oh, you guys could still see. Okay, let's take this off. Again, running and gunning. Is the carb wet? Or is the plug wet? Plug is dry, so interesting. We may have a problem with the choke in this air filter. I mentioned that before. These do that. We may need, well, let's give it more low jet. I don't know where this is supposed to be. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if we should just give this thing a little squirt. Let's give this thing one drop right in the cylinder. That'll get her going. And again, friends, if this saw turns out to be a turd, I won't send it. I mean, I could give it to one of you guys as a joke. But I won't give you guys a project, a headache. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that to you guys. I could sign it and you can put it on your shelf, but we'll see what this saw wants to do, right? If it doesn't want to live, it doesn't want to live. Okay. Well, let's just go like this. Oh, that's a lot. Open up the choke. Okay. There we go. Well, it should fire now. Okay, here we go. I'll take the choke off because we know we got gas in there now. Well, I don't know if it got into the cylinder, but okay, here we go. Here, let's put the choke back on. Okay. Interesting. So, I reckon for whatever reason this saw is not getting fuel. It was. I don't know why it's not now. I'm going to pause you guys. I want to do some rooting around here. I don't want to make this video 40 minutes long. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick look at a few things and see what's what. Give me a second. Okay, friends, you guys can see it's smoky in here. I think I figured it out. First, hear this thing run, because I know you guys are dying to. It's already warm, but... Okay, you can see this thing's a little rich right now. I set up the carb so that it would really blubber because I wanted to hear it blubber. This thing was leaned out before, really, really bad, friends. And it was getting so lean when I tried to cut wood with it, I thought I was going to blow it up. Now, they don't blow up right away, but if you're horsing around and you keep it in the wood too long, when it's screaming, you can cook that piston pretty quick. Okay, friends, I think I just found the sweet spot for the low jet. I really don't have any idle engaged right now. I like to see if I can have almost no idle. So that's at 1 turn, friends, on the low jet. High jet's at about 1 1/8. Okay, friends, I think I have it. I have the exhaust fan on if you guys can hear that. That's not your ears ringing or anything. Okay, put the sauna on. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what I did to make it run. It's still not perfect. Something's up with this saw. First things first, I tried to put that other carb on. That carb would not fire at all. Not sure why. Took that carb apart, inspected the old carb, put those parts back in the old carb, the carb from the saw. I also pulled the fuel line, and I was sucking through the fuel line, friends, and I couldn't suck through there. Well, whatever kind of filter this is, Garbaggio, okay? That filter would not let any fuel through. I took a Husqvarna filter, an OEM one, put that on an Echo line, pulled it through. Sucked through there and blew through there. It's fine now. Cut that to length, hooked it up to the carb, okay? I then fired it up, and it sounded like it was missing, so I put a brand new NGK spark plug in. That's how we got to this point. Now I just need to tune it, but it's starting now. So, who knows, friends? Okay, ready? Okay, I'm going to give it a little more idle. Let's see if we can get this thing running halfway decent now. It 4-strokes beautifully on the top end now, so that problem seems to be gone. Okay, I'm going to start it on fast idle. The saw's being a little picky. Okay, I'm starting for my factory settings again. 1/2. Okay, that's where it should be out of the box on a non-ported saw. Now this is a ported saw. friends, what I'm going to do right now too, I'm going to put a little more fuel in it. This thing's turning into a little bit of a headache saw, but that's the way it is sometimes. Especially when you say you're going to give a saw away, those will be the ones that give you trouble, friends. Trust me, it's the way it goes. Okay, I put more fuel in here. It was running kind of low. Okay, I'm going to give it a little more fuel. Okay, friends, I'm not 100% happy with this carb, and the reason why is it's slow coming down to idle. I don't like that. The saw 4-strokes beautifully. I don't think I'm tuning her on an air leak. So I guess in the next video, let's take the timing advance out of this thing. Maybe that's why it's being a little bit particular. It's very possible. It should start now. I didn't like where it started there. And the reason for that, I think, is because the high jet's or the low jet's a little rich. Okay, friends, so the way the saw is, it runs okay, it starts for now. We'll see how it starts tomorrow. I'll try it again tomorrow. But it's not ideal, friends. Again, that maybe this carb is no good. Maybe I'll have to pull the Welsh plugs out of the carb and see if there's any debris behind the Welsh plugs. We could do that on a video. It is what it is, friends. Sometimes these junk saws turn into be a little bit of a headache. But I'll show you guys. I'm showing you guys the whole build, and we'll do our best to get this thing running good. Anyhow, friends, thanks for watching. Take her easy, and we'll find out what we find out. In the next week or so, I'm going to pull out a saw or two that we're going to continue working on. I have a couple saws here that I really want to do, and as well as a couple of the auction saws. We'll keep going, as well as in the meantime we'll keep puttering with this thing. So stay tuned. We're gonna have lots of fun, and unfortunately I don't think this thing's perfect yet. It does start and run though, so we'll take that. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Take her easy. I'll see you guys in a couple days. Later.